Today we're going to talk about the Null Car. The Null Car is sort of a glitch and sort of a placeholder. It's a glitch because if you get it, you're not supposed to have it. And it's a placeholder because, well, sometimes things go wrong in programming, and so I guess, and this is just my own personal theory, Playground games put it in for those just in case moments something doesn't load correctly, so that you're still able to play the game. It's just with the Null Car. I was recently able to acquire the Null Car, ever so briefly, via the method that Airship111 showed in his video. I'm going to refer to it as the airship method, but don't expect to be able to get the car via this method because it's sort of a cat and mouse game where players want the car to play with it, but Playground Games doesn't want you to have the car because it's not officially a car, if that makes any sense. So, what is the Null Car? Well, according to Airship, the Null Car is an Australian-made Ford Falcon FGX, and he is very insistent on that. And as a proud Australian, pretty much every time he talks about it, he corrects everyone. So, what can you do with the Null Car? You can take it in and tune it up. You can swap out parts, take it from two-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, swap the engine, etc. Although, I'm a little iffy on some of these things actually do anything because the numbers don't change. They do go from white to green, which means small changes, but nothing that I can see significant. To be fair, I'm not a tuner, so I don't go in deep. You cannot put a paint job on it, no matter how hard you try. You can try to add decals, you can try to change colors, but the only things that you can change any kind of color on are the wheels. Everything else just does not appear. You can get in the car, but you have to act like you're opening the door first. In fact, using explode mode to open all doors, hoods, trunks, etc. doesn't work. Because again, this is a placeholder model, so those things were not built in. So once you've pressed the button to quote unquote open the door, then you can get in. Do not expect any kind of interior. It's bare bones as far as what Playground Games has built for it. So you can get in and look around, but there's nothing really there. So what else can you do with the Null Car? Well, you cannot take it into any of the races, since it doesn't have a class as far as retro racer or sport cars, off-roaders. It has nothing, has no designation. So when you try and enter a race, it just does not appear as a selectable car. You can, however, take it through jumps, speed traps, speed zones, drift zones, and you can set records with it, and those will appear, and it'll show that you did it with a Null Car. One of the things you can't do, besides not race in any of the races, is you cannot take part in the Forzathon events. It will, on the map, if you highlight over Forzathon, it will show that it's 10 minutes till the next Forzathon, but notice that the time is not counting down at all. Alternately, if you go to where the Forzathon is, it will show that it's an impossible amount of time to wait for the game to start. In my 2 tries, the first time it was 39 hours, the second time it was 70 hours. Now for Forzathon, in theory, you could sit there and just wait until the actual Forzathon starts, get the booming voice, and away you go. Well, no. As you can see here, I'm in the area for Forzathon, and as it starts, you can see that everyone kind of just fades out and disappears. So, no Forzathon for the Null Car. But, like I did say earlier, you can take it into speed zones, speed traps, drift zones, danger signs, etc. Since it is a placeholder, and as we've shown already, there's not much inside of it, that means that Playground Games has given it the minimal amount possible for treatment. This means that if you crash into something, there is no damage model. Nothing breaks, nothing gets bent, nothing gets crumpled, paint is not scuffed. The Null Car has no engine noise stock. As you can hear, or not hear, I'm driving around and it's kind of like an electric car. You hear the tires squeak, you hear them rolling over pavement and gravel, but you hear no engine noise. But that's not to mean that it's completely without engine noise, because if you do a tune, and there are plenty to choose from because people have dove in and tuned it, it gives it an engine noise. Now with the stock version of the car, I decided to take it out, see what the top end is on this thing. Looks like it tops out round about the low 180s. I got 182 as my top end, but someone with a better skill set than mine could possibly eke out a couple more mile an hour with it stock. Now, you can tune it and probably pull more out of it, but I wasn't willing to spend the money on it. The Null Car does have a mastery tree, and you can spend points and build that tree if you wish, but just know that you're going to lose those points, because once you get out of the car and get into any other car, it's gone. It's not in your garage. And that's another thing. You'll spend about 50,000 credits to buy the car using the airship method. And that's money that is gone once you do it. So keep these things in mind. What are some of the other quirks? Well, there is the wheel disappearing. What it is your wheel will be solid one moment, and then with enough speed suddenly disappear. Now this is a quirk or bug that happens to other cars in the game, and it appears that the Null Car, being a placeholder and not much thought given to it, has the same quirk. Another quirk is, while you can take photos of the car, it won't count as a photo of the car. What I mean is, for the Horizon Promo Photo Challenge, when you try to take a photo, it doesn't count towards your total number of cars photographed. Recently, in the Forzathon, there was a photo challenge to get yourself and 2 other drivatars photographed at the stage. And while I thought there was 3 of us there, every time I took a photo, it did not count the Null Car. It counted the other 2. Don't plan on using it to bolster your numbers in the photo challenge. Lastly, and this is an odd one because it only appears in your festival garage, and that is left-hand side mirror. It's malformed. Part of it is missing, but that's just a minor quirk of the car, among many already stated. And so there we go, folks. The 2000 Playground Games Null Car. At least that's its designator in the menu system. Also known as Null Car, also known as DLC Car, as you've seen in earlier parts of this video. It's a car that kind of want Playground Games to make available, but I understand their reasons why not, since it's unfinished and it can't be used in anything. My hope is that when Playground Games is done supporting the game as a last gift to all the players, they gift the car in a usable state. That may be just wishful thinking. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you like this video, I am obligated by YouTube to ask you to like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't, that's fine. Liking the video will give me an idea if you guys want to see more videos like this. In the meantime, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care.